The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. As we get started today, if you haven't been here before, guess what? My name is Ray. Last name is Reynolds. Please write it down. Get a tablet and pen. Let's spend some good quality time today. Let's see if I can help you get to million. Some of you probably to billion if you allow me to. Now, for 45 years, I've been helping people get to million to billion. You might want to pay attention today. Keep in mind this is live, 6 days a week, ultimate goal. So basically no tablet, no pen. How are you going to begin? Because you can't take pictures, you can't record because you got to get it here. You got to understand this has to be a way of life. Now there's some goodies on the right hand side. Lamborghinis, yachts, and helicopters and all kinds of goodies. Now that's not clip art, by the way. That's some of the things I obtained. And you can do the same thing too. Now, rags to riches. When I was a little kid, I didn't like being used and abused. I didn't like eating out of a trash can. I thought it sucked. So you know what I did? I read every book I could. I wanted to make sure I was the smartest person in the room. I looked behind the curtain. That's what I want you to do. Let's think about it. I'm dropped off Redondo Beach Pier at the age of 3. Mrs. Hope, the she-devil from hell, said, I'll be back here at 5 o'clock. If you're not there, I'm going to leave you there to die. What a nice thing to say to a 3-year-old little boy. But I looked at magazines. I looked at Marino Del Rey, Torrance Rocks, Palace Ferdies. They got money. I want mine too. They're no smarter than me. The difference is they had it. I wanted mine as well. So understand today, let's understand some goodies. Here's a $100 million building, a Lamborghini, a $5 million mansion, all right, a race, but I'll say the Ray Reynolds University too. You see, I'm going to maintain my 841. You got to get you to an 870-50, 8750, 750 more. Ultimate goal is very simple today. Let's think. If I rebuild you, and if you listen and learn and do what I ask you to do, getting that first 100,000 is kind of a pain in the ass set. Once you attain that up to the million, easier. Ultimate goal. So if you let me add you to my credit system that I developed years ago when I was basically training Ken Yarborough, security chief at TRW and Asperian, and that was fun too. I can rebuild your credit to a 750. But you got to pay attention today too. I'll show you a bunch of goodies. Ultimate goal. Then I'll teach you how to get the American dream. Now, my first question next before I go to the next step, who, because this is President's Day, right? Who was the first president? Please tell me. And you're all going to get it wrong probably. His last name was Hanson. Huh? All right, George Washington was not our first president. Even when they say so, it was wrong. Now understand, what woman ran the White House for 17 months? All right, yeah, a woman acted as president for 17 months. Her last name was Wilson. You see, the reality is I'm a factual person. You might look at these things today too, but understand what I got to do for every one of you. I got to basically go through your credit reports. I got to go through your Experian, your TransUnion, your Equifax. I've got to show exactly what you did to yourself so I can show you how to reverse the process of the garbage. Because you probably jacked up your credit, got stuck, couldn't get any more, and you brought the pain home too. Ultimate goal. Now I'm online 6 days a week. There's my schedule. I like to repackage every one of you. I've done this in person or online for 45 days. Nope, 45 years. See if I can get you to pay attention today. Now here's how it works. In person or online, I'll hold your hand, or I'll even do some private time with you too. See, you got to get to the truth, what it takes to get there. That's the goal. It's 1,000 steps to millionaire to be a certified CFO. Ultimate goal. It's like me, I want to leave $10 billion to the Ray Reynolds University. Ultimate goal is what I want to do. Now, here's one of the things I had a problem with. I brought in my first 100,000 at 9.5, not possible. I brought in $1 million at 14, 2.6 billion at 26 corporate structure. I wanted to help everybody for free. Nobody wanted to play with me. They didn't have skin in the game, I guess. So here's what's going to happen today. I want you to get into a program. All right, don't be surprised if I give you 100% your money back or up to times 10 in personal business credit. See, now I need you to draw that diagram in front of you. See, the diagram is a corporation with divisions or subsidiaries. Write them both down. We got to figure out what you're going to do for you. So some of you have a corporation already. That's fantastic. You spend thousands on a piece of paper that was free, little filing fee, and you didn't learn diddly squat. And when they sue the corp, they sue you. Why don't we do it my way, corporation with divisions? You see, the banks have branch numbers, so do the grocery stores do. So when they get rid of a location, they write off on their taxes and they get a tax credit, but you brought the pain home to you and your family too. You never had to. So let's write down the list. Number 1, stop bringing the pain home. Number 2, become a certified CFO. Number 3, reprogram your brain into millionaire status. All right, that's my blueprint for you. We're going to write down, see it, believe it, go get it, the ultimate goal. So if we look at today at the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, what we have to do is understand the rules and tools. We look at we the people. So the bottom line is very simple. You got choices. You have an SSN, that's we the people. Your tax on everything you bring in. Then you have to have your lifestyle. Your lifestyle is your income. And then you think free money is the credit cards, and you jack it up, screw it up, and bring the pain home. Kind of silly and dumb, huh? But if you would have mastered the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, where a corporation's a legal person under the SS4, you never pay tax, so you're profitable. You could learn to play today. But again, my thought of the week is very simple. What steps are you doing today? Today. What did you do yesterday? You see, remember, all right, you have the ability to go get it and not waste any more time, but it's up to you. You're responsible for you. And the biggest problem that most people have is themselves. They hold themselves back and they're afraid to try. And then they basically don't think they can get this done too. Ultimate goal is very simple today. Let's understand, I like to repackage your life. I think a lot of things you do are wrong. So let's do that structure today. So let's think. Here's a corporation managing entities. That creates a line of defense and stops bringing the pain home right away. And then we put all the ducks in a row. And then I repackage you into the corporate structure. That's a corporate umbrella, by the way. So as we do this correctly, like me, I incorporate people every day. Rich and famous people, homeless people, people coming out of prison. For instance, here's the board of the hospital we set up in Fiji Islands years ago. Glenn lived in his car for 3.5 years. I told him to get off his assets and get to the workshop. New house, new truck, under $450,000 of credit, in a business doing millions of dollars a year. Giovanni, $1.6 million. People coming out of prison. Freeway, Ricky Ross. I did most of his family's credit, rebuilt that during the years. When he finally got out of prison, I did his credit. Got him 3 American Express cards as well, up to $1 million each, and his wife's credit too. The ultimate goal. Here's Thomas in prison for 26 years. Within 8 months, we got him in the dump truck business. See, you got the choice to learn to play and pay attention starting today. What you did to start your business is probably sit around the kitchen table with your friends and family and said, let's start a business. Got all excited. Well, where are you going to get the money? Oh, you're going to jack up the house, screw it up, jack up the credit cards, all right, drop your score, can't get any more, can't write out diddly squat. Well, that's what you did to yourself? By the way, that's wrong. You see, you didn't learn how to play, and then you brought the pain home. And that really sucks. The reality is very simple today. Write down today's date, project 90 working days. Let's go chase the goal. See, I wrote Winning the Game of Business 45 years ago. All right, the goal is simple. These 12 books and CDs, very simple. I sold them at the Bonaventure for 32 years for $5,000 a set. It's a full blueprint to get to the $1 million dream. From there, I got a system for real estate too. I got into millions of dollars real estate too, or become the bank. So if you want just the 18 books and CDs by themselves, it's $9.99. If you invest that today, I'll give you the books and CDs for free. Or if you invest $9.99 today during this broadcast, very simple. When you start a business, you have to understand something today. You're going to have to hold your breath. You don't know if you're falling off the cliff, they're going to catch you, they're going to knock you down. That's being a business today. The ultimate goal is what you get to do for you. So understand something today, all right? My journey was not always so easy. I got born in a taxi on the way to Gardena Hospital. She didn't want me. She threw me in a trash can, and then I got to be a Mrs. Hope, the she-devil from hell. Your journey today can begin with me, but we're going to take away your excuses. Every day I wake up at 2:25 in the morning. I thank Jesus for another day, then I go look in the mirror. I've been doing the mirror test since I was a little boy. See, I got to put myself in check. I didn't get a real mommy and a daddy. All right, I just got used and abused, and it kind of sucks. So I ask myself every day, have I completed everything I need to? Is there more to be done? Most of you, sorry to say, you ask your friends and family, and they have an opinion. I think they're clouding your direction. Why don't you listen to someone who really brought in millions and billions of dollars of structure? It's like me. I made two promises to myself years ago. I promised myself I'd never get married unless I created a blueprint that I can make sure I don't bring the pain home like you, because I didn't like being used and abused as a kid. So I mastered it and got married and got 6 kids. I even promised myself I'd never hold a baby. That was one of my first children. And that's what I did for my first daughter. By the way, I kept my promises. Are you going to keep your promises to you? You said you want to get to million to billion, did you not? July 4, 2009, pretty simple. I got 3 yachts in my backyard. I'm helping people 6 days a week. My wife wants to take out one of the yachts with a little group of people from the church and the school. No problem, honey, let's go. What did I do? Next day, I'm in a coma. My tax attorney tricks my wife to sign a POA. They asked my wife if I was a donor, they're going to rip out my heart and take it away. But the bottom line is Jesus gave me a choice to stay in peace or go back. I said go back that day. So there's no more excuses for you. I moved 24 times when I was 11 and a half years old. All the great kids at school, the bullies. You had to run or kick it. I'd rather die than run. So I've been shot twice, now 6 times too. I got no excuses, but neither do you. The ultimate goal, you can learn to say, see it, believe it, and go get it, and let's go do it. I got a book coming out this year called Jesus is Not a Drive-Thru. You see, I believe being a Christian's a way of life, not just a moment at a time. You see, let's show you a bunch of goodies today. What you can do for you. Anywhere from the Lamborghinis to the Duffy to the mansions, how I broke the record for the highest kick on the planet in 1981. From basically to proving that white men do jump and stupid people say we don't. Race boats in the backyard, helicopters, U-Docks, yachts, and Ferraris. See, I'm going to show you the real goodies you can obtain that I obtained from me. But again, that's up to you to learn my blueprint, to see it, believe it, and let's go get it. See, if about your credit today, sorry to say, credit repair is a fraud. I didn't say it. The Federal Trade Commission says it every day. Unfortunately, still people pay them $1,000 a year or $100 a month. It's like, why? So let's understand what you can do for yourself today. Why don't you write down Section 611 and Google it? So understand, if you really want your credit to be 750 score, and you think by hiring those credit repair flaky companies are going to help you some more, they don't. They drop your score. You see, what you thought All right, and they don't have a magic wand. You thought maybe they do. See, if you owe a debt, you have to negotiate the debt. You got to man up and woman up. The reality is there's no magic wand. The ultimate goal is up to you. So the goal is stop bringing the pain home. The lack of knowledge is the stupidity of man and woman. We're not stupid, but we do stupid things. So all you need today is a good coach. By the way, I'm the #1 coach for 33 years for personal and business credit. If you want to hold your hand every step of the way. And if you want that 750 score, all you got to do is simple negotiate an open collection account. And then from there, get your debt ratio on most cards to 25, 29%. And then wrap a rescore and wrap a refresh. Now you got a 750. By the way, it's called the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Reality is very simple today. We can rebuild your credit if you allow me to analyze you right away. All right, again, first 25 steps today. First, let's go to annualcreditreport.com, get your reports for free. The next thing is let me look at all 3 reports. Let me tear apart them, rebuild them, and show you exactly what needs to be done. I'm going to analyze your credit. All right, Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. That way you can understand what needs to be done for 90 working days. We can get you a 750 score and more. Now I need you to understand something today. Let's take out your Social Security card and your personal wallet. Here's the application you didn't pay attention to. The application for Social Security card. If Mama did it for you because Nixon took the gold standard, okay. But if you did it for yourself before that happened, did you tear apart the application and what it said for you? You see, it says name to be shown on card, full name of birth other than above. The SSN is only for the 1040 tax return. People got credit cards in the 80s and 90s and 70s without using the SSN. And unfortunately, most people fall like sheep and screwed it all up for them and probably for you. Now, if you look at your Social Security card today, let's read it front and back. Usually it says do not laminate, don't carry with you, and don't use for ID purposes. But you did that anyway. From there, it says property assessment administration, not you. Ultimate goal. So understand the SSN was for the 1040 tax return. That's all it was for. There's number 2 for you, the ultimate goal. So when you got your first paycheck years ago in that first job, what happened? You thought you were ripped off. Where's my money? Then someone pointed out the IRS gets their cut. You get the leftover and we're sheep and ducks. What you didn't do is pay attention to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, where it says a corporation is a legal person and using an SS4. So I want you to write down irs.gov right now, please. I want you to write down 1244. I want you to think about the S corporation filing one single tax return. That meant for your C or LLC, we get to file one tax return. That's the ultimate goal. So you'll almost pay no tax ever again. So understand today when we compare the two. One is SSN for 1040. We have to pay tax on every dollar we bring in. The other one is SS4. We don't pay tax till we're profitable. So you get yourself a fighting chance and you work together with both. Then you become a good qualified CFO. You learn to balance your debt, the ultimate goal. So we only get one SSN and 9 out of 10 people screw it up every day. Then we get one SS4. So that means the corporation gets sued, they sue you. What are we supposed to do? Well, the banks and grocery stores in cities have subsidiaries. And I created a division process in 85, 86 because I don't want to pay a franchise tax fee for a division because you don't have to. So if you take my process I created and invented in 85 and 86, it gives you the line of defense. It gives you a second chance to try. And you become a certified CFO and you reprogram your brain into millionaire status. So remember, SSM, it made us sheep and ducks. The SS4 make us flying eagles. But what I have to do for every one of you now is rebuild you. That's okay. I can get that usually done in about 90 working days. So the corporation and the divisions. From there at the SS4, I'd like to do one for you too. I'd like you to compare the two today and learn how to play. The ultimate goal is going to be up to you. Choose wisely from now on, please. We can put all our ducks in a row. Ultimate goal is what you get to do for you under a corporate umbrella. We could actually win. So remember that SSN application you didn't pay attention to? In the left-hand corner, it says SS5. By the way, that's IRS. So if we look at the SS4 and dissect it again and tear it apart again, today, every bank and grocery store have a branch number. Line 1 in front of you says legal name of entity, individual person. So if we put your name on line 1, we can create a division of you. If we look at the form and we dissect it some more and understand what it can do, it has 26 ways to use an SS4. So in line 9, very simple today, it says banking and credit purposes in front of you. It's the only form that allows one per entity. All right, the only form on planet Earth, by the way. So if we look at the 4 things that a corporation should do, very simple. Buffer tax means don't pay tax till you're profitable. Getting cash credit cards, we derive the interest rate in the credit card. The car at fleet price, hotel, free buffet. So if we do this correctly, my way, you're going to create your line of defense. They're cheap, multiple functions, buy at wholesale price. All right, basic credit reports, real estate, and separate liability. Creating the line of defense gives you more than one chance to try. Every debt follows tax ID and bills credit reports too. So if you listen to me, I'll even guarantee what I can do for you. If you do what I tell you to do and you follow through in part of the program, I can rebuild you in about 90 working days. If you get and let me add history to you in the corporate divisions, you're going to get these invitations in the mail say you've been pre-qualified. Please do not apply for credit because they're phony. From there, do not violate the credit. Do not violate what we do. By violating means you apply for credit or you jack up your cards, which means we have to basically charge you a fee or close your case. You have to own your own stupidity on you. From there, ultimate goal is the goal changes. Past can't chase future. If you got an open collection account, negotiate it. If you have an IRS problem, go to irs.gov, 656 433 A and B. There's a solution for everything you're trying to do. So if I add you a wrapper rescore, build your score to go up and away, getting you 750 is not hard to do, as long as you're part of the program. That will allow me to rebuild you. From there, it only takes 3 things to do. All right, remember, any open collection account, debt ratio 25-29%, and a wrapper refresh. That gives you a 750 score. That's called the KISS method, by the way. So that's what we get to do. 750, that's what I'm going to do for you. But again, that means I'm going to rebuild your credit, a wrapper rescore. I'm going to say you got to go to class on Saturday up to 90 days, as many times as you can, 750 score. I'm going to charge you $999, and I'm going to hand you a $1,000 card back to you so you can reimburse yourself. All right, from there, the ultimate goal is very simple. During this broadcast, I'm going to discount it 50%, okay, to $499. That'll allow you to basically scan, pay now, or basically a Zelle. I will be your coach for 90 days. And then that card I get you will be $500, so you can reimburse yourself 100%. Here's a picture. Take it now. This is Zelle, Ray Reynolds recipient, ray@raisecredit.com. Now, if you want to give a call to the sales department or the accounting department later today, it's 800-510-3338. That'll go to the paralegals in the accounting department. You can tell them you're on the webinar with me. Ultimate goal, if you refer people, I'll build you more credit, or I'll sell you 10% back, whatever they pay in full today, up to $1,000. So now I need you to call a phone number for me, please. 888-567-8688. I'd like you to opt out for 5 years or a lifetime. It'll slow down your robocalls and junk mail. See, you're on the national mailing list. Get off that list right away. Ultimate goal, plan the problem today. See, what happens, you didn't plan the problem. You allowed one friend and family member to rip you off and knock you down. You might have spent thousands on crap that didn't work. Now, every card in your personal wallet today, I want you to put a sticky on it. That's right, a sticky. I want you to write down the limit, maintain 25%, and never go past 29% ever. That will create a line of defense. That way your score never goes below a 750 ever again. Green is basically 10%, or it says 0 to 29 is green, 30 is yellow, 50 is red. I designed the system years ago and they finally came through, so I understand that sticky is what you need to do. Very simple today. Now understand something. Now you have to learn to balance the debt. You're gonna have an emergency, you're gonna have an excuse. what most people do. So let's understand all cards but two use the 20% rule, 25, 29%. So when you balance your debt and you have an emergency, you don't pull out the wrong cards. What you do is you pull out the basically platinum or gold card personal cards, because they don't let your score go down ever, as long as you maintain the payment. Ultimate goal, you can jack it up to $1 million for paid overtime limit. You might want to take a picture of this page today. It's one of our new business cards going out. Ultimate goal. From here, here's the back side. 10 steps to maintain, all right, a 750 score. You have to understand that's to go in your personal wallet as steps today. From there, what happens when you have an emergency, lose your job? Everyone does the same silly thing. They run out of time, they run out of money, then they go jack up their personal credit cards in 42 days, can't ride a dilly squat and get stuck, and they bring the pain home. Is that what you did to you? Probably. It's like today. Let's pretend you needed $5,000 now. When you need it, the answer is no, you don't need it. Here's some more. The average person wastes $50 every other day. This is the $5,000 card in my hand. If I max it out today, the payment's $50 a month. So understand something today, very simple to do. What the average person wastes in a given day or every other day, they kind of waste away. They could have maintained a safety credit card. It's like you. If you waste 140 a week, that's 600 a month. Let's say you do. If I take 50,000 off of a corporate credit card, I get to write out the interest rate in the credit card. All right, but the payment is $612.26, what the average person wastes in a given day. Using some common sense, we get to get two pizza restaurants with a drive-through. During the pandemic, the only thing that stayed open was fast food and drive-throughs and delivery food services too. So understand, reaching your goal today. Believe in yourself. Me, I believe in God, and I believe in me. When I was kicking the door jam at 10, that was fun. And then from there, I kicked the basketball hoop too. So let's understand today. God gave us certain gifts so we can see it, believe, and go get it. And white men do jump, just stupid people say we don't. When Nixon took the gold standard out, most people didn't pay attention to that too. Understand today. All right, I'd like you to write down Ray's rules one more time, please. Write down 100,000, a couple cards. Let's use 29%. Never pass that. That would give you 71,000 of safety credit. Case blankets, a fan, lost a job, or a pandemic. When you use personal credit to start a business, that's silly and dumb. By the way, it's kind of stupid too. But when you use corporate credit, you get to write an interest rate in the credit card. When you win, you absorb the taxation. When you lose, you get rid of a division. You don't hurt the corporation or your family too. The ultimate goal is going to be if you have your cake and eat it too. Ray's rules, step 7. All right, become a certified CFO and never bring the pain home. Ultimate goal. There I am, dead. That kind of sucks. And you got 3 yachts in the backyard helping people 6 days a week, and it dying in a coma because someone kills you and steals your life. Well, I've been in 2 comas in my life so far. First coma, I was crippled for life. Jesus said, get up, I got up. Last one, I died and came back to help you. See, I kept my promises to myself, all right, that I was going to maintain and figure out a way never to bring the pain home like you, and never hold another baby, ever. A baby loves my first one for me. So you got choices today. The devil's trying to knock us down and hold us back. God's delays aren't God's denials. So if you let me rebuild you, I'd like to teach you how to break even personally. I'd like you to balance your debt. I'll hold your hand and teach you how to do that too. And on top of that, corporation to legal person. So we're going to get 10 cards per entity. That way it's over $1 million. You see, I'll build it for you. It's not legal accounting advice. It's just me using my blueprint to rebuild you. Now, banks, they have checkbook money. Unsecured up to $150,000. As long as your corporation's 2 years old and you've been in business for 2 years. Very simple to do. Corporation is going to get checkbook money up to 5.4 million, by the way. So if we look at this correctly, what they did is what I taught them to do. Leverage money into millions of dollars. So you borrow money is not taxable. You should write down reference of 3 times 5. You could learn to play too. I've been teaching rich and famous people to do this to become billionaires for years. The banks want you to be in business for 2 years. So we get into corporate division. That's called checkbook money. If you don't have a corporation that's 2 years old, let me know. I have 1 nonprofit left, and I have profit corporations. And then it's in California, but you can qualify in any state you want to. Same fee. Now you have 2 years. The office sells it for $4,000. I always like to give you basically $10,000 of credit, discount it to usually $9.99, which is $1,000, giving you 10 times your money back to you. Here's that Zelle thing again, RW New Zelle. It's all you got to do, bank transfer, deposit, or wire. See, no more excuses for you. Now I want you to read this very, very slowly. This is chapter 18. I learned this listening to the poker game when I was 7.5 years old at Hope's house. She Devil from Hell. I basically wrote it down. They told me it was weird. Next day, I went to the library next to the Torrance Police Department. I asked, "Man, what does this mean?" She walked away rudely, came back, said, "This is my friend's book." She was a biatch. But the reality is I read the book. Didn't give me anything I needed. Went back for 2 years, created my own blueprint. See, you've been looking for the blueprint all your life, too. By the way, I'm your blueprint. Will you pay attention today? I went back for 2 years, sent away my money order, Secretary of State of California, and found out corporations are free. You pay a little filing fee. I got $100,000 of credit in the mail. I got named in the movie Dave. I'm the founder of Helping Hand Industries, too. I've been an affiliate to creditors for 39 years today. So understand corporations, divisions, getting cash credit. I built it for my cat at Inc. magazine. Basically came to me at the Bonaventure and asked, what would I do? And I said, use plastic to finance your business. I can build credit for my cat. You think I can build it for you? See, cats have 9 lives. Get out your magic wand today. Let's get you 9 lives. Let's give you more than one chance to try under the corporate umbrella. Ultimate goal. You see, if I allowed to get a tax ID for you, all right, credit reports and cash credit cards, and line you up for checkbook money. There's the goal. There's 7 reasons you want me to do this for you, by the way. Corporations, credit reports. You get to write it all off and finance the dream. Every tax ID gets in a Superior and Transient Equifax. So the way I set up for you. If you wanted, say, up to $1 million, I'd say 9 divisions. You say 5 million, up to 41 divisions. That's what I did for my matrix. If I get you a gold card, unlimited up to $1 million, paid over time limit, I'd ask you if you like 10 more. Simple. That way you can get up to 100,000 to $1 million to $10 million of credit in each piece of property, each franchise. See, business is a numbers game, just like every branch number of a bank and a grocery store. They get rid of a piece, they write it off on their taxes, get a tax credit, and do it again and again. You get to learn to play if you want to today. If we take the corporate credit and loan it out, all right, my book basically 45 years ago, page 16, said basically cash flow free of your time. You can create up to $10,000 a month to replace your income or to enhance it. It's going to be up to you. So keep in mind when I did my first matrix of $4.6 million, it was creating up to $190,000 a month. But it took 41 divisions. Then I did a $16 million and $32 million matrix too. So I like the goodies, don't you? The goodies are nice, aren't they? But again, these are just a couple of things I obtained. I like to still repackage every one of you. So if you let me hold your hand, all right, personally, or in workshops, or in private time too, I'm going to get you to the truth that'll set you free. So keep in mind today, stop bringing the pain home. The lack of knowledge is the stupidity of man or woman. All you need is a great coach, and since I'm number one, let me coach you. Let's understand today under a corporation, and you do what I want you to do, managing entities. What if a division has trouble? Mayday, mayday, what are we going to do? We're going to have a board meeting. We're going to disconnect, isolate, incorporate. We're going to get rid of that division if we have to and file a bankruptcy in the Federal Protection Act, because we're allowed to, like the banks and grocers and cities do. No intent to do fraud, but the intent not to bring the pain home. You have the master divisions and subsidiaries in tax IDs. So if you want me to set up a division for you, all right, is $2,000 of history, tax ID, and we basically set up the credit reports. The office sells them for $1,000 each. Today you get a discount of 50%, and I'll give you 3 for $1,500. You can scan and pay now, or you can Zelle, corporate umbrella, and each one of those entities get credit reports. There's your Zelle. Put RW if you do a Zelle today. From there, the goal is getting up to $10 million of credit cards and up to $5 million of checkbook money. Remember, I'm online 6 days a week so you don't get stuck. All right, the last 45 years. Today is President's Day. Again, I'm going to ask you who is the first president, basically, of the United States. It's not George Washington. His name was Hanson, who also was the woman who ran the White House for 17 months while her husband had a stroke. Okay, her first name is Edith. You might want to understand her last name was Wilson. So understand something. There's been a woman around the world today as well for 17 months in the past. Today, all right, I'm trying to finish a project I'm about 10,000 shy of. Today, you can save up to 60% on certain things you want to do, and all you got to do is call 800-510-3338. Ultimate goal, my last and final year of the 6 days a week. Let's get you to Millionaire Corporation this year. From there, if you missed setting the tone, my last boot camp, the bottom line is there's a part 2 to that as well, because I'm not doing more boot camps ever again. If you want to be a Ray Reynolds Millionaire member, do the 6 months program. There's only 4 left. I'm only allowing 25 people in it, period. All right, ultimate goal, I interview you up to an hour and blueprint you. Like I did one this morning, I'm doing one this afternoon too. You got basically Zooms and phone calls almost on a weekly basis. Level 1, 2, and specialty classes for 6 months. 50,000 of credit by itself is 5,000. Today you get 5,000, you get the 6 months program. There you can scan, pay now. No excuses for you. If you want to put $1,000 down, all right, in payments, you all have to do is go RW and Zelle 1,000 today. Tell me what it's for. If you don't do it today, you're going to miss out the opportunity. I do have 8 classes in rotation on Saturday when I do my 10 classes every Saturday live. This Saturday, it's Stock Kit at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The ultimate goal, understand something. From there, there's $999 for 90 days of specialty classes, or $499 per class. There you Zelle, and you tell us what you want to do, and you always put RW. Now understand, I want you to think about something today. I want you to create a division of you. Because when you sign for a guarantee of a car, a lease, a house, you're using your personal credit SSN. You could have a division of you under SS4. Receive money, daisy chain credit. So that way you don't become a duck. Again, I'd tell you to get a division of you today. The office sells it for $9.99. I basically do it for $4.99 today, half price. If it was done by scan or Zelle, there's your Zelle. From there, all applications for cash credit require a certified CFO. So if we look at the cards today, there's only 2 that allow us not to screw up our credit and balance our debt. It's the American Express Gold or Platinum personal cards. And I build them up. I charge you $9.99 for each card. If you want 99 cards, I'll give you that too. It's a little too much. And then you get lines of credit. If you want one per every entity, let me know. I can also build you a pack of 10. If you do this, remember your goal is to balance you. And the best card is Gold and Platinum card. Next, if you'd like the first set to the corporation, today normally it'd be $4,000 for 4 cards. I'll build it up for you today, half price of $1,998 today. And if you want up to $100,000 of credit, it's usually $10,000 or $50,000 is 10% across the board. Today, all right, you get a 60% discount if it was done today by scan or by Zelle. Keep in mind when you basically use your personal credit, start a business, you jacked it up, got stuck, couldn't write a dilly squat, you brought the pain home. Just always remember, borrow money is not taxable. Use the corporate credit cards instead. Because what happens next, you get to write it all off. Because borrow money is not taxable. When you do retire, remember your bills never go away. Why don't you learn to have your cake and eat it too today? Raise rules, become a certified CFO, and never bring the pain home again. See, it's like if we stood up in the middle of the room, one hand says SSN, and he says it's sheep and a duck. The other hand says SS4, we don't pay tax so we're profitable. Per the IRS's rules, public record today, irs.gov 1244. We follow an S corporation. That's all we got to do. If I wrote you a check for $1 million hypothetically today, I'm sorry, you'd put it in your personal bank account. I'd say that's kind of dumb. You only get to keep $375. If you put it into corporation, you get to pay all the bills first and then pay tax on the leftover. No leftover, no tax. Is that how rich and famous people do it too? See, the United States of America Incorporated, they set up 50 corporations. Those corporations set up states. States set up divisions. And they're called subsidiaries. They're called cities. They actually plan to file the bankruptcy, Chapter 9 bankruptcy under the Federal Protection Act, which means they can bankrupt the dead and stay in business. And you could have did the same thing too. You like bring the pain on you and your family too, right? So why don't we Google bankruptcy today? So the next time when blank hits the fan, is it SSN or SS4? You get a chance to decide who's going to feel the pain the next time. Mary's nice. I met her after she screwed it all up. She had an 800 score. She used 98,000 of credit, dropped it to a 591. She explained to me that she gave 10,000 to her CPA and attorney. And they sit there going, beep, beep, beep. It's about all folks. Reality is they don't know how to run a business. They just know how to file a tax return or to look at a lease. Mary signed the lease as a corporation, guaranteed it personally. When the restaurant went out of business this last year, all right, they took her home. Her husband divorced her too. Biggest problem Mary had is the same problem you have for you. Your business should be a division of a corporation. So if anything goes wrong, they give her the division, not the corporate, not you. You never had to become a duck. But again, since you don't know how to play, that's up to you. I will get you to my credit system if you allow me to. I can build you up to $1 million. But if you don't go to class and learn the rules and tools, forget it. Reality is you have to learn the rules and tools how to play. It's like a corporation today. If you have one before, you paid thousands to an attorney or CPA incorporating service. You didn't learn diddly squat. All corporations in 50 states are free. You pay a little filing fee. You never had to be a sheep or a duck. All right. The reality is, even June of this year, California gives even the filing fee for free. Up to you. So why don't we take a starter package for beginners? Why? Because the average corp's $3,000 and everyone seems to waste $1,000 a month. Let's build the credit and wrap a rescore. Let's give articles also tax ID for free if they don't have them. If they do, we'll use what they got. Let's put them in level 1 in setup at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, all right, Wednesday and Saturday. And let's give them $5,000 credit back. So if we charge them $2,000, that's 2.5 times their money back. Since the average person wastes $1,000 a month, why don't we cut it in half today, being a holiday, and cut it to $9.99? Scan, pay now, or Zelle. That way you get 5 times your investment back to you, no excuses. Discount is only good during the broadcast. Million in the making, $5,000 of credit. You get $25,000 of credit for you. That's 5 times your money back. The discount during the broadcast is half price, $24.99. You scan, you pay now, or Zelle. And what happens for you? You just basically got 10 times your money back. No excuses. If you Zelle, you put RW. That's all you got to do. Beat your doubt, run your race, get out of my way while I rebuild you, please. Again, our goal is simple. Getting past go. All right, God's gift in a mansion in the harbor. Race boats and yachts, I say the Ray Reynolds University.com. Helicopters, buildings, and Lamborghinis too. Please change your driver's license today. P.O. Box mailing address, that's what I'd like you to do, but up to you. Next, when you bought your car, what did you do to you? You let them sweat you for 5 hours. I thought you were a grown-up. Or you didn't even set the tone. And they basically lost $5,000, lost pay of that, and they sweat you for 5 hours and got 9 inquiries. You see, the problem with you is you didn't set this allows 1 inquiry and that piece of paper you gave them and take a picture to set the tone. Why didn't you do it my way? What's wrong with you? Are these turned up? You see, a car is fleet price tax ID division. It didn't show up on reports. I don't have to worry about gap insurance. It's a full write-off. And if there's a repossession of the car or the house, we don't have to worry about the 1099-C that you'd have to do for you because we're going to plan the problem, right? Again, every registered owner should be a division. So there's a problem and a bumpity bump, they get basically diddly squat. You got to learn to plan the problem. You got to make sure you plan the problem so you don't bring the pain home. Every property should be a division. You don't know who's going to slip and fall and sue you. Your paycheck should be an offset of your house payment. Amazon didn't pay any tax on that first 10 billion to trillion. Why would they pay tax? They know how to play. Your problem is you have to learn to play today too. No loophole. They're doing what they're allowed to do. He was the line of credited by Twitter in 24 hours. He's got a spaceship. So do the other two guys. So you could actually learn to play the game and learn to win if you want to. Reference 3 times 5. Money into more money. Carl does this into the billions and never pays state or federal tax. Disney and Newsweek shows you exactly what I'm saying today too. $1 billion in the bank and wrote an IOU to themselves. Borrow money is not taxable, leveraging money to more money. If Disney and Disney can do it too, so can you. But again, you can call 800-510-3338 and talk to the accounting department. Say I was on Ray's webinar too. Run your race through a corporation or in conjunction, please. Keep in mind the goal is like pay tax or buy a Lamborghini. Your paycheck is taxable income. You get the leftover and pay the car payment, the gas registration, insurance. Why? You should say no. Start driving a company car. Step 17. Now I'd like you to look at an SS4 today. I'd like you to download one in the SS4, irs.gov, because you can see it says banking and credit purposes. All right, public record. You don't have to be a duck or a sheep. You can learn the truth. It'll set you free. Ultimate goal, like mama. She got an SSN form at the hospital when the baby was born after Nixon took the gold standard out. You see, I understand. Then the baby went to the stroller, the car seat, and went home. Got to go to work, right? Because I got an SSN. See, everything to me is rules and tools. It's like you have a house today. It's not in a trust. When they sue you, they take it away. You die, get stuck in the probate. Your family got diddly squat. You fix up a property today. You hire the contractor that hires a subcontractor outside Home Depot. Good workers. When they slip, fall, and cut corners, you know what they do? They sue you and take everything you got. But my way, they get diddly squat. Why not? Why don't you look up an irrevocable trust today, please? You see, that's step 19. 6 more to go. Ultimate goal. You people almost every day saying, Ray, I don't want to pay tax. And I always answer the question, it's okay. So you want to go to prison like Wesley Snipes did for 5 years. You see, you can't play peekaboo with the IRS making a mess. IRS.gov 656-433 A and B. Understand how to play today. Get your butt back in the system today, step 20. From there, you have to learn to be an OPM. Save up to 70%. Don't pay a bill up to 90 days. When you close an escrow and have $200,000 left over, don't act like you're rich and piss it away. Leverage it to $15 million plus. Raise rules, leveraging money. Borrow money is not taxable. Set up the line of defense. By the way, that's step 21 called blackjack. Oops, you win again. Ultimate goal. You see my office in 2009. Here it is. One Technology Drive, 22,000 square feet building. And what did I get to do when I came back and found out I took my life? And they stole everything I had to do? Well, I took basically 6 weeks and I built up to $1 million of credit again. I don't stay down. By the way, neither do you from now on. You met me. You don't have to bring the pain home ever again. We're going to write down that blueprint. See it, believe it, go get it. Yes, I'm going to always tell you what to do. I want you to do the 1,000 steps to millionaire and become a certified CFO. Repackaging every one of you. Checkbook money, you've got to have that up to 5.4 million. Leveraging more money to more money. Borrow money is not taxable. Reference 3 times 5. You could get to millionaire this year if you want to, but it's up to you. You got to have a 2-year corporation. The reality is you don't have one. I have them in stock. I have one nonprofit and some profit corporations too. I add 10,000 of history, and I basically discount it to $9.99 through this webinar only. That's 10 times your money back. And you put RW in your Zelle. From there, a corporation's a legal person. Ultimate goal, we get credit to the corp and the divisions. So if we build a corporate umbrella, learn how to play, we can get to the millionaire status and allow me to do it for you too. There's 7 things you want me to do for divisions. Every tax ID builds an Asperian, Tradu, and Equifax. You want 9 divisions, that's up to $1 million. 44 and 41 divisions, that'll be up to $5 million. Again, it's a numbers game. So if I do a division for you, I'm going to put 2,000 of history. I'm going to basically use the SSN. I'm going to build the credit reports. From there, you get one for $1,000, three for $3,000. I do them at 500 apiece. You may do it weekly, you do one at a time. But again, 1,500 for three. You scan, you pay now, corporate umbrella, and debt follows tax ID and credit reports. And if you RW, you can Zelle for one at a time or all three, $1,500 today. 45 years helping people like you. Again, today's President's Day, you get up to a 60% discount. And all you got to do is call 800-510-3338. What are you willing to lose? Family, no. Corporation, they sue you from their divisions. So let's think about something today. If we play chess, we both lose pieces on both sides. But if we play my way, we're both going to get checkmate. That's the ultimate goal. We both get to win. Again and again, if you refer people, we'll build more credit or we'll sell you 10% back. Make up to $1,000 today. From here, it's reaching the dream. Think to be the impossible, always. Raise rules, corporation divisions, training people to be certified CFO into the millionaire status. That's the ultimate goal. Let me add you to my system. I'll rebuild you. I'll analyze your credit. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do and what I'll do for you too. Spirian, TransUnion, Equifax. Ultimate goal, my last year of the 6 days a week is 2023. Ultimate goal, if you missed setting the tone event, 3-day boot camp, sorry you missed the last one I'm ever going to do. Next from there, there's a part 2. You can actually get into the Ray Reynolds Millionaire Member Program. It's a 6-month program. There's only 4 left out of the 25, so if you don't do it today, you probably missed out completely anyway. We're going to do a phone call with you privately, you and me, up to 1 hour. We do Zooms and phone calls on a weekly basis. We put you in level 1, 2, and 3 in specialty classes. $50,000 of credit is a bonus. Normally it's $5,000 for that. Today, $5,000, all of that for 6 months. You can get a 10% discount when you pay in full. All right, or you put $1,000 today and 4 payments of $1,000 a month. There's your scan for the $4,500 paid in full. There's your Zelle for $1,000 a month and put your deposit today. If there's no deposit, I'm sorry you missed out anyway. Again, as we do this, let's keep in mind, never have joint credit. Buy a house, escrow, closed homestead trust, a corporation's free in all 50 states. Don't spend thousands of dollars. Don't pay anything, they're free. You pay a little filing fee. All right, from there, the divisions or the real estate, all right, new franchise, all right, current business, line of defense. Raise rules using the credit. You finance the American dream. That's why I give bonus cash credit. It'll take away your excuses. Excuses don't put food on the table. Step 424. Ultimate goal, hold your hand every step of the way. All right, workshops are privately too. Getting to the true information you need. So keep in mind today, stop bringing the pain home. All right, the lack of knowledge is the stupidity of man or woman. From there, you just need a great coach. And I'm right in front of you, 750 score. Rebuild your credit, 750. That rapid rescore, $1,000. All right, $9.99, you get a card for $1,000 back to you. You go to classes up to 90 days. I become your coach. From there, I discount it to $4.99 half price now, and then your card becomes $500 to reimburse you. You scan, you pay, or use Zelle, and you put RW for the Zelle. From there, starter package, corporations average about $3,000, which is ridiculous since they're free in all 50 states. We use credit rebuild, rapid score, articles, also tax ID. If you don't have it, we give it to you for free. Normally $2,000, and what happens is we give you $5,000 credit back to you. So that's 2.5 times your money back in your investment. But during the broadcast, I'm discounting it to basically $9.99. All right, what the average person wastes in a given month to give you 5 times your money back. From there, $1 million in the making is normally $5,000 for $25,000 of credit. But again, the discount is $24,999. You scan, you pay now, or use Zelle. That way you get 10 times your money back. The ultimate goal. So keep in mind there's Zelle, and you put RW to Zelle. All right, every one of you deserve to be a corporate millionaire. Your banks and grocery stores and cities do this in front of you, and all you have to do is pay attention and understand and wrote the rules and tools for every one of you too. So we stop bringing the pain home. We become a certified CFO, and we reprogram our brains into millionaire status. We start looking behind the curtain. We stay safe. We stay strong. We do our best. Jesus does the rest. Amen to that too. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I'll hold your hand and help build you and redo most of the work for you anyway and teach you what you need to know, step 25. So keep in mind today, the offers are good today. Zelle, all right, scan and do it right away. If you need to call 800-510-3338, that will be the accounting department, and you'll be able to talk to Scott, Bree, or excuse me, not Bree, Oriana, all right, Santos or Eric or something like that, and they'll hold your hand every step of the way. The ultimate goal is going to be up to you. So we do our best. God does the rest. Amen to that too. And never forget at the end of the day, God loves us all.